Good. All right, everybody. How are we feeling? So, again, guys, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just ask Dipper a few questions because, again, he has an amazing career, true champion mindset. You've done some crazy things, grand finals, Brownlows. How did you handle the pressure of being that level of champion? 7 in a row, carrying your team, all the things that you did. How did you handle that sort of pressure?
Well, firstly, I didn't carry the team, but I normally do say that. But yeah, no, it's not pressure. It's what you do. It's, how your body is, it's not pressure. Because if you know what you're doing, if you train at it and you understand what you're doing, then when you walk up to it and you've got something in front, you go, no, I can handle that. It's when we can't handle something because you're not prepared for it, because you haven't put your mind to it, whatever. So playing footy was the easy part. That's a great part. Mark was a beautiful, fast wingman himself, a half-forward flank. I was a wingman myself. And I knew what I could do, and I knew what I couldn't do as well. But when you're ready and when the time comes, you've got to do what you've got to do. And in grand finals, that's what you play for. You go through all the bullshit, the dice, the crap, and all the ins and outs or whatever to get to where? To a grand final, right? And once you get to a grand final, you're there to win it. You're not there to lose it. But, you've got to do what you do, and you've got to be focused on the day. Yeah. Some days you have great days, some days you have terrible days. I never had one of those. But,
of course not.
Yeah.
No,
but
exactly.
you just got to be able to have a clear mind to handle what you do.
And as he's answering these questions, guys, think about how it's relevant to your life right now, because we're all face pressure. I think Dipper, what he sort of said there was, don't look at pressure as pressure, right? Reframe it to something useful. It's something you've got to go through no matter what. So depending on how you look at these things will depend on your outcome. Do you guys agree with that? Now, you said that obviously you didn't win all the grand finals. You had some ups and you had some downs, right?
Yeah.
And most people would see that as facing challenge or failure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with all the effort and energy you put into it, it would have hurt on the day or for weeks afterwards. How do you handle
years after,
years?
yeah.
Well, how do you handle failure? How do you handle something like that?
You have more shit days than good days. We agree with that? Like if you count on, I can count on one hand, out of the 240 games that I played and whatever, I can tell you 5 games I had a great time. And the rest is sort of like in and out and whatever. But I can tell you 5 times. So that's 5 games out of a 19-year career. And, and you have more downs than ups. Mentally, physically, injuries, whatever, When you're flying, when you're young and you're flying and everything's going really well and you get an injury, you go, oh, wow, I've done my knees. That means I'm not going to play for a year. Now, lucky enough, I didn't do my knees, but I've had broken sternums, I've had punctured lungs, I've had my ears sewn back on, I've had everything done, right? But the thing is, all you want to do is play, because that's what you do. Because you know what? One day, you can't play anymore. And that's what kills you, But you just got to be able to understand where you're at, and there are failures. And people say, learn from your failure. Well, how many times do you have to learn? I learned 1,000 times. Don't bet on horses, right? Some days I have good days, and a lot of days I have shit days, right? But that one day makes me happy, right? And my wife goes, whatever, But, you gotta have failure.
Yeah.
You've got to have failure.
Yeah. Yeah. And keep moving forward, right? I like that one. I like that line. One day, it'll all stop, right? So you got to keep playing the game. You got to keep moving forward, no matter what.
It stops for you, and when it stops for you, I was lucky enough to go into media and other bits and pieces, and I'm still involved in the game itself. I've helped GWS the last 7 years build a brand up there, but I'm still involved, touch and feel footy. Some guys just get chopped, and that's it. Some kids that or some people that gets chopped, and that's it. Where do they go? What happens to them? Their mind goes, geez, I'm a failure because all my mates are still playing footy. I'm 26 and I've been cut off from the list. Why? Because I'm not good enough to play at that level. And when you're 18 and 19 years of age, when you get drafted to a football club, I'm just talking about footy world, right, is that you can't go. So I get drafted to Brisbane, right? We went up to Swans, right? Or you leave all your family behind. Your best mates, 18th, 21st, whatever it is, you can't go to it. You know why? Because you're playing footy. And then when your time's finished, you go and hook up with these guys, they're gone. They're married, they're gone, and you've got to start your life again. and then drugs, alcohol, all the things that we go to, the easy shit that we go to, and say, oh, I'm gonna feel sorry for myself or whatever. I'm gonna get stuck into it. Well, you can do it for a while, but unless you say to yourself, I need help, no one's gonna help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to say it. I need help, and once you say that, then you go, right. You've asked for help. I'm going to give you help.
Absolutely.
It's like a parent, tell your sons or daughters, don't do this and don't do this. Don't smoke. Don't have sex in the back of the car. Whatever it is, At the end of the day, at the end of the day, well, that's a father talking, okay? At the end of the day, if someone else says it to them, oh yeah, no worries, because they listen. It's a different voice. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. Yeah. Who agrees? It's so important to ask for help. Hands up.
Can I have a hoo-ha for that one?
Can we get a hoo-ha?
Yeah, hoo-ha.
You got to say 1, 2.
Yeah, 1, 2. Hoo-ha.
There we go. And it's hoorah. Come on.
Oh, hoorah.
It's not some hoo-ha.
Yeah.
All right.
I got my own
I got
hoo-ha.
2 more questions. So, you've achieved a lot, right? Smashed the footy career, then went straight into media, and you've been fucking non-stop since then. Agree? What motivates you to keep achieving? What motivates you to keep moving forward?
Well, do I have motivation? I don't know what my motivation is. It's just that I've got to survive. We've all got to survive.
Yeah.
If it's media, you put your hand up and go, oh yeah, I can do that, no worries at all. And it's about failure. My first couple of years on TV was just shit house. People hanging shit on me, I couldn't speak properly. As a young boy, I used to have a very bad stutter. Like, I spoke like this at school.
Wow.
And now I make a living out of speaking. Right? So, but the thing is, I train at it. I go to speech therapists and whatever, and I spent 5 years with them, learning how to say certain words and how to speak. And a lot of us speak very quick or whatever. But for me to talk like this is like, oh, here we go. I'm bored with myself, right? So it's what is motivation? I don't know. Some days you just get up and just say, I don't fucking do anything. Bruno Mars, Today I'm going to do anything. I'm going to put my hands down the pants, all that sort of stuff.
I haven't heard that line, but that's good.
Bruno Mars, put it on. We all need those days. Yeah. And those days wake you up a little bit and go, it's hard to say motivation. I mean, I'll have to motivate you right now, but, and maybe I am, because I'm motivating myself. But the thing is that where it comes from, it comes within. Don't do it for someone else. I've got to do this for you. No, fuck it. Do it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing is I fly a lot. It does my head in this one, but when the air hostess or stewardess these days, when the oxygen mark comes down, what's the first thing we do? As a human being, what we'll do? We'll give to someone else, won't we? But they say, no, you got to look after yourself first, and then you can help someone. And that's how I sort of look at my life. If I don't look after myself, I can't help anybody else. Yeah? So think about that, especially men. Young man over there, what you said about yourself, about motivation for all the time. It's a daily grind. It's a daily grind every day. Wake up and go, right, what's today? I ain't going to feel good every day, but that time will get you through.
Absolutely. Who agrees with that? That deserves a hoorah. 1, 2. Hoorah! Awesome. All right.
Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
All right.
The Big Dipper. All right, last one. Yeah. Last one. So you've learned a lot over your time, right? You've done a lot of different things.
Yeah.
If we could wind you back
Yeah.
and you could speak to yourself at 18, 19, 20, what advice would you give yourself to be even more successful?
I don't think you go out to be successful. And I'm not saying I'm successful. Yeah, I mean, I've done things, and I've done good things. I've done a lot of bad things too. Don't worry about that. But you just want to be in a footy club as we are right here now. It's that community. It's a cult. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a cult, right? Because we're all this together, right? What it is. I mean, right. We could be talking about anything here. We talk about religion, whatever it is. But it's always, if you believe something, well, go with your belief. No one's going to stop you, right? No, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've done because I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I've crawled out of the hole 1,000 times, and I've still crawled out of holes 1,000 times. And I've walked on fire. What I walk on fire for? Because I thought, you know what? I'm going to walk on fire. And I've done it. I've jumped out of planes. I've walked Kokoda. I've done Mount Kilimanjaro, all these little adventures. Next year I'm going to do, and this is something we'll open up to everyone. I do a lot of charity work, as Mark knows, and vice versa, and Andy knows. And Andy, of course, the boss here already. Yeah. Is that next year we're going to take some people over to Sri Lanka, and we're going to walk Sri Lanka for 10 days, nearly 365 k's, and along the way help people in the communities, but raise money. But along the time that we get to know each other and all that sort of stuff, we just done a Cambodia one, and that was 320 k's, and we had 19 people, and that just sort of. Little goals like that sort of say, well, this is what I'm going to do. I wouldn't change anything, except one night. Except one night up. I should have taken her home. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there, yeah.
I missed out.
Yeah, that's all right, that's all right.
No, she would have been my girlfriend, my wife. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Anyway, mate, you're an absolute champion.
No, thank you.
I think the message is clear that, again, you've got to be determined, yeah? I love that you mentioned you've got to look after yourself before you can help anyone else. Does everyone agree with that? Because how can you be 100% for someone else if you're not 100% for yourself, right? Mind, body, soul. And I think that's a message we can take.
We're thinking about doing a podcast together.
We're not thinking. We're doing it next week, mate.
We are. Yeah.
Next Tuesday, 1 o'clock.
I'm not thinking. Booked. I'm not thinking about doing a podcast. So we're going to do a podcast together about what we're speaking about. So if you have a chance to listen to it, Andy's got a wonderful story too, and it's a sad story as well. And we want to make sure that we all know each other. Follow us, and hopefully we can motivate you. And I'll see you around all the franchises, whatever, because I'm loving being back to getting yelled at by Andy. Come on, one more. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Give a round of applause. Thanks, buddy. Well done. That was awesome. Legend. Can we get a hoo-ha for Dipper? 1, 2! Hoo-ha! Have an amazing next 6 months, guys. Well done. Give yourselves a round of applause. Awesome. Well done.